So our second strategy is actually all going to be on assessment. So assessment's an incredibly crucial part of the job search process, not only because it's important to learn about yourself, your values, your skills, what you bring to the table, your strengths, areas of improvement, but also thinking about how that might play a role in the careers, the occupations, the industries that you want to be in. Exploring careers should first begin with assessing where you are in the four steps. The four steps include assessing yourself, exploring careers, gaining experience, and marketing yourself. So assessing yourself can happen in a variety of different ways. Maybe you want to take an inventory of the skills that you have, strengths, the abilities that you can bring to the table, or even the values that you have. Are you the type of person who does better independently than on a team? Are you the type of person who is seeking out a strictly hybrid environment? There's a lot of questions like these that can help inform our decision making, but also inform us throughout this job search process. When it comes to exploring careers can happen in so many different ways. And I actually have a couple different types of research tools here on the slide that I will be getting into a little bit more in depth. One of them that I did not mention on here is actually called What Can I Do with This Major? What Can I Do with This Major is a platform only provided through University Career Services on our website. It does allow you to see the career or your major associated with different career paths, with how it might align with different employers, and also the strategies in order to get there. That might be useful as a good starting point for a lot of individuals to, number one, eliminate different industries that aren't of interest to them, but also maybe pinpoint even 3 to 5 types of occupations that really resonate with them, that are occupations you want to learn more about, that are occupations that align with what you've done so far. We also want to think about the types of experience that we've gained as well. Primarily, what has the experiences been in for you? Have you held specific types of positions in the past? Were those things that you want to repeat or do again in the future? Think about the skills that you've done in those particular positions or internships, or experiential learning experiences. Think about the ways in which you can gain experience, whether it be shadowing, volunteering, internships, externships, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, etc. And then finally, networking. With the matches that you might find, you should probably also explore and research opportunities, explore and research organizations, explore and research industries, title variations, stepping stones. There's a lot of jobs that can be called a variety of different things, but have the same responsibilities. You might want to think about your end goal and then go backwards from there. Does your end goal require you to take a step in another direction in order to gain the experience needed for it? Does your end goal require licensure, certificates, etc.? Thinking about it in those terms can help us really use our action plan that we've created for ourselves to better understand what our next move should be. We should also think about this in a couple of different terms too: function, industry, and geography. So let's just say that you have identified a particular type of role that is of interest for you. Example's sake, let's just say it might be a marketing associate position. A marketing associate position can go from a variety of different title variations. You might really like the responsibilities of that role, but are open to having different titles because of the fact that those responsibilities are ones that speak to you. Maybe you're really interested in searching for specifically an industry to break out into. Maybe you want to break out into the pharmaceutical industry, but you're open to the titles that you might have. Maybe you want to break out into the fashion industry, but you're open to different career paths that might associate with that. And finally, geography. Geography is very important. It's important to think about what you're going to do post-graduation. Are you going to be staying in Carolina? Are you going to be going back home? Are you going to be going elsewhere? A lot of different places have their own job markets. Some places are more specific to particular types of jobs and lend themselves more to specific types of jobs. For example, the music industry, it's great, but it might be highly centralized in a lot of different areas. You might find that more in New York or LA or Atlanta. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of variety elsewhere as well, but that's where you might find the highest concentration. And I do want to just click into each and every one of these different types of resources. So we're going to start off with the Occupational Outlook Handbook. The Occupational Outlook Handbook is a really wonderful resource that allows you to see a bunch of information with regards to different roles and their day-to-day. So I just typed in marketing associate and I just brought up market research analyst as an example. But here we get to see a lot of different things. You get to see a summary, what they actually do, the work environment, you get to see how to become one, the pay, the job outlook, the state and area, the similar occupations. So in that sense, this can all help better inform your decision-making by giving you more information and data points. Another incredibly beneficial type of resource is ONET Online. Here you get to see the different job titles. If you go down, the tasks associated with it, what your day-to-day might look like, technology skills, work activities, work context, job zone, training and credentials, apprenticeship opportunities, etc. So it really does provide you with a lot of information. You might realize like, hey, this particular job requires technical skills that I have not become familiar with yet. In that sense, that could also provide a good starting point for you to understand where are the areas that I might be lacking? What might I need to do in order to get myself to be a very competitive applicant for this job process? And then finally, NC Careers. NC Careers is a great website. You can actually explore occupations on here as well. With this exploration of occupations, you can actually click on all of these different types of roles, look into them a little bit deeper. Again, very similar information to ONET Online and Occupational Outlook Handbook, giving you education and training, number of jobs, skills and abilities. And then if you would like to also, you can use the filters on here that give you a little bit more specific types of jobs, because right now we have 823 matching occupations. Maybe you want to get that down to a more manageable number by including some information about yourself that you might know. And finally, informational interviews. So informational interviews are so important because by speaking with people, not only in your direct network, but also when it comes to alumni or anyone who might be beneficial for you, you can find out very critical, crucial information to help you better understand what might this job look like day to day. What did this person do in order to get to where they are? How does this person feel about the company that they're currently working at? With all of this in mind, you can have a really great understanding of what roles are out there, where to put your focus on, skills, abilities, strengths. These are all things to talk about and to reflect on, because it can really help you make a very informed start to your job search process. With exploring careers, there's not just one way to do so. It's not a one size fit all mentality. All of these are great job board platforms in order to search for different types of occupations. So not all companies are going to be using the same types of job boards when posting different types of positions. If a company might use LinkedIn, maybe another company is using Indeed, or they might be using Handshake. Some companies don't use job boards at all. Some companies work primarily off their own company website. So that's something to consider too. With all of these different types of job boards, it gets very hectic. It gets very disorganized. It gets very frustrating and overwhelming. These are all very valid, real feelings, but there are ways to eliminate all that stress, all of those feelings of frustration by keeping yourself organized and maintaining a spreadsheet during this process. So I know that we mentioned it before, but it might be important to consider what you want to include on your spreadsheet. What is valuable information for you? Would the link be helpful in order to put that on your spreadsheet? Do you want to put down what types of skills are necessary that you have that would make you a really great candidate for these positions? You want to put down a connection that you have with someone within the company. And then finally, taking deep dives into different company websites can help you better understand how you fit in with the company. I'm actually going to click on McKinsey and Company's website. What's awesome about every company website is that they almost always have an about us. You should definitely be checking out a variety of different sections to better understand who they are, what their purpose is, what their mission statement is. Purpose, mission, and values. Does it align with your values? Is the purpose related to what you'd like to impact or achieve? Think about what you want to get out of the first 1 or 2 years of work. You can also actually look at other information too, history, their leadership. Leadership often allows you to see a little bit more of the structure or makeup of a company. You might want to look into, again, aspirations that they might have. Are they doing any type of humanitarian or philanthropic efforts that align with, again, what your core values are, what you'd like to do to make an impact on particular communities, on the world? So in that sense, you can learn a lot of great things just by looking at these different company websites.